Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man. I am Bobby Cool, Daddy Slick Breeze, and with me Eric Ralphware McCabe.
Ralphie sick shirt.
Got
it is a sweet shirt.
You
have one of these, don't you?
Yes, I do.
I also have one of those.
It's really not that old school, is it?
It's probably
several years.
Probably more than that.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's probably 4 to 5 years old.
Wow.
Anthony, do you have a Ralphware shirt? Do you want a Ralphware shirt? I could probably get you a Ralphware shirt.
Low cost of $50.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
fair enough.
All right,
Fair
so what do we got going
Bobby,
on, guys?
you
What?
have got to introduce me at the beginning of the show.
Oh, did I forget?
You always say Eric, and we start talking about Eric.
We
and then
talk
you're
about
like,
whatever shirt I'm wearing or what's
freaking
going
standard,
on.
dude. I understand. I sit way over here,
It's true.
separated from you guys.
It's completely not on purpose.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, are we recording on those guys?
Yes, they are turned on.
Okay, I wasn't sure because I couldn't see myself.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to flip the little thing. And he's what we're a podcast listener. He's talking about the cameras. We were recording these on video. We
Still hasn't introduced.
I'm getting there. We are still recording, even though we haven't been putting them out on YouTube because we have some special plans with the video.
Yes.
So down on the other end of the table, I have Mr.
Anthony.
Robert.
Oh,
Yeah. I have Robert. What happened to my Apple Watch, McCall?
no.
It broke.
It broke.
I'm going to put my head back down on the table now.
Did you break it last night banging so many birdies during your match?
Yeah,
play match?
it was because I pulled my putter out of the basket so many times.
Understandable.
No, I don't know what happened to it. It's kind of sitting
Why are
up
you
weird.
still wearing it?
Because I don't want to not wear it.
Is it working? Oh, it's working.
It's still working, yeah. It's just like the edges came up. It's weird.
That's weird.
So
Anyway, so hopefully you get that
Yeah.
fixed.
Yeah.
So what do we got going on that deals with disc golf? Let's see. We have tonight. Oh, we have the corporate challenge going on in Emporia. And if you're not aware what a corporate challenge is, it's a bunch of companies in the Emporia area that are members of
Emporia.
the chamber. No.
Main
I don't think
Street?
it's
I
necessarily
don't think it is. I
Chamber
think
of
it's
Commerce.
just
I think it's
larger
yeah.
companies.
So anyway, you
businesses.
elect employees from certain companies, and they go play all kinds of different games. So the first night was bowling, and so
Mhm.
there's a competition. You get so many points depending on where you place. Last night was pickleball, which I'd heard the name pickleball, kind of heard it talked about, but never watched it. I thought it was kind of cool.
It's so much fun.
It's like a condensed
It's like
tennis.
it's a wiffle ball with like a wooden mallet or pallet rather. right?
Paddle.
Paddle. Yes.
Like a
That'd
bigger-
be sick if you were using pallets, though.
or a mallet.
or a
or a
hammer.
mallet.
Or a hammer. That's
Yes,
good, too.
yes.
and
Yes.
and then it's like just take a tennis ball court and just shrink it, like
Yeah.
make it smaller.
I
It's
heard
super
rumors.
fun.
I don't know if it's true, but I heard rumors that the baseball fields at Pan are being converted into pickleball courts.
Wow,
I'd heard that. I don't know if it's true. But
that
that's
would be
what I heard.
crazy.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Emporia is about to be known
We
for
could
disc
do-
golf and pickleball.
We could
true.
do like bag tag Wednesdays where you have to pickleball and play
Yeah.
disc
Dude,
golf.
yes. It's seriously so much fun. And because it's a wiffle ball, you can hit it quite a bit harder than like a tennis ball or something like that. It's really fun. I like it.
Yeah,
Cool.
And then tonight is
Tonight.
disc golf.
Disc
Disc
I'm
golf.
thinking we might do well in that event.
We've got a chance.
If,
Although,
if we don't go 1 and 2, I will be very disappointed.
Who do we have
disown our
Well-
players?
Who's playing tonight?
well, that's what's kind of giving us pause.
Uh-oh.
Well, so for the younger, so we have two teams for dynamic discs.
And
in the
before we go any
corporate
further,
challenge.
last year
Yeah.
we won the corporate
We
challenge.
won the corporate
Dynamic
challenge.
Discs won the corporate challenge.
Right.
This year we have 2 teams.
Yeah, we had just a few too many employees that would want to participate
Mhm.
to just have one team.
Yes.
So we split into two. We've got the Dynamic Discs veterans. That's for people who are of a certain age.
Yes.
We won't say what age that is, but both Eric and I are on the veteran team. So draw
We
your
are.
own
We are, like,
conclusions.
22 and older.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean,
That's right. That's
right
about
around
the
that
average age.
Yeah.
And then the Dynamic Discs recruits are the younger team.
Or
So for the recruits,
junior recruits, as I call them.
tiny recruits.
Yes.
So for the recruits, Kevin Schaefer, one of our graphic designers, and Paige Bierkus are going out for their team. And then we've gotten in trouble in the past whenever we sent Eric out to play
Mhm.
disc golf. I don't know, something about like if you were a world champion at something, you probably shouldn't participate in
Yes.
stuff that is only for pride.
However, I will say there was 2 guys that bowled 300s.
Yeah, which is
in
crazy.
the bowling
Crazy.
on 2 nights ago.
Yeah,
So,
that's stupid. So anyway, instead of Eric, we're sending out myself and Denise Cameron. So
it has to be a male and a female.
That's right. So we will be competing for the Dynamic Discs veterans.
Yes.
9 holes apiece out at Jones West.
I'm going out after we're done with this episode and moving every basket super long.
Yeah.
Just to make it fair
Advantage
for
us.
us.
Nice.
So.
Cool. Well, that'll be good times. We'll have to report on next week's episode on how well we did.
Yeah.
And there's what are some of the other events?
There is 4-way
Bolo?
volleyball. There's bocce ball. There's canoe racing. There is putt-putt. Yeah, there's
Bolo?
just a lot of different stuff. Yeah.
Like ladder golf, I think they also call it.
Oh, is that what that is?
Bolo.
Yeah, nice. I didn't know what that was. That's
It's
cool.
where you have the 3
Yeah.
rails and you got the
Mhm.
2 balls on the string.
Sweet.
But I think they use tennis balls.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
how they do it. And
Okay.
then you throw it from like
cornhole?
30 feet. Yeah,
If it's good
cornhole's
enough to be on
another one.
ESPN, it's good enough to be in the corporate challenge.
That's a fact.
So yeah, Chris Edson and I are going to be playing the old beanbag game.
Very nice.
Nice.
Cool. Well, let's waste no more time and let's hop on to the questions. Remember, guys, you can
Fancy
go to,
questions.
you like that, yeah.
Yeah.
You can go to discgolffansman.com, submit your questions. We love that you submit them through SpeakPipe because we get to hear your voice. We get to
Yes.
interact with your voice. But if you don't want to do that, you can still fill out the form and send the questions in. But we always go through SpeakPipe first. So let's hear from Zach.
Milton?
What's going on, Robert McCall? I want to know, Bobby and Eric, what is up with all the hate on Mr. McCall? He is a wonderful human being,
Debatable.
and I'm really sick of people calling in and giving him whack nicknames. But anyways, I do got a question.
Thanks,
I
Zach.
want to know what
Hey, it's your one fan.
Dude,
All
yeah,
right.
standing up for the little guy.
Hey.
See, Zach, do you see? It's just continued.
We're recognizing
they take a nice thing
your
that
only
you're saying.
fan
They take a
finally
nice thing
called
that
in.
you're saying, Zach, and then they just twist it around to be super rude and hateful. And I'm going to cry after
All
this.
right, let's
That's
see what
fine.
Zach.
Which that's every day though. I'm
So-
used to it.
Since he's your number one fan, we'll go ahead and skip over his question.
Yeah,
No,
that's right.
no.
We can message each other back and
Here
forth.
we go.
is the most awkward and or funny way you've gotten a disc back from someone who took it off of you, like as if you seen them playing with it and thought, hey, that looks like my disc. Oh wait, that's my disc. Do any of you guys have a story like that? I seen this happen firsthand a few weeks ago at my local league, and it was hilarious. Yeah, I would love to hear about it. Thank you guys very much. And
Wait, he's not-
PFDO coming up, baby. Show them
Who?
how Pittsburgh does disc
PFDO.
golf. It's going
Flying
to be a
Disc
great
Open.
time. All right. I love you guys too. Bye.
Pittsburgh Flying Disc
wait.
Open.
Did he not say he has a hilarious story about one, but he didn't tell
He
us?
didn't tell it because he wants to hear our stories.
Oh, but I'd rather hear his.
Yeah, me
I don't
too.
Yeah, I
really-
wanted to see.
Maybe
what
next
happened to
week.
him.
I don't really have I mean, I guess I've gotten discs back from people. I don't know that I mean, of course, I've seen people throwing my discs on the course,
Sure.
but I never know if I lose it and say you can have it kind of thing. But I do have kind of a funny, similar story.
Mhm.
Years ago when I used to play all the time with Kevin Babbitt. He is a player from Lawrence now, but he used to live here in Emporia.
Okay.
And he lost one of his favorite, I think it was like a Stingray or something that he used to throw like massive rollers with back in the day. And he had his phone number on it. And he came to the course one day and told me that he got a phone call from a guy and said, hey, is this Kevin? Is this Kevin Babbitt? And he goes, yeah, this is Kevin. He goes, hey, did you lose a Stingray? And he goes, yeah, dude. Man, did you find it? That is so awesome. I've been so missing that disc. I'm so excited to get it back. And the guy goes, yeah, we're never going to see it again, and hung up on him, which is great, but also
That's like so messed up.
oh, yeah. I mean, you could do that back then because it's not like cell phone, people
Yeah,
are
right.
calling his home phone.
Yeah, he don't know.
But man, that was one of
That's-
So he
that's
did
one
it
of my
just
favorite
to-
stories.
Yeah,
somebody
just to rub it in his face.
Just
just
to
to
call him.
troll before trolling was
Oh,
on the internet.
Exactly.
Trolling on the
Yep.
phone.
That was
Yep.
yeah,
Phone troll.
pre-internet age trolling
Phone
was
troll.
something special.
Love it.
I do have one of these. I threw this is before I was sponsored. I was throwing a special blend USDGC Rock. I think it was from 2005, and it has the picture of the bird on the front. And I knew it was mine because one of the feet had faded to white. The rest of the bird was red, and most of them are just red. So it was really recognizable to me. And I had aced with it, and my buddy had given it to me a while ago, and it was one of my favorite discs. And
Zach?
It was not Zach. It was not Zach. But thank you. I know that Zach would have given this to me. He seems like a nice fellow, unlike you two. Anyway, So I had ace with this disc. I threw it in the water at a tournament. I was really sad about it. And a year later, I was warming up for just like a local mini there in Austin, and I saw it sitting on the ground. I saw it fly in and sit on the ground. I was like, hey, that kind of looks like my disc. And then I saw the little foot was white, and I was like, that is my disc. And I walked up and turned it over, and the ace ink that was on the back was all marked through with Sharpie.
Nice.
And then this guy who was throwing it, I won't say his name, obviously, but had written his ink all over the back too, and was like, yeah, this is my disc and all this stuff. And so I walked over. I was like, dude, this is my disc. You can see my ink on there. I know that you marked it out. Because I want this back, I will trade you something for it, but this is mine, and I'm leaving with it today. And he was like, okay, well, I'll just give me a buzz for it, and we'll be good. So it was cool. And I'm not like a really confrontational person, but that was one of my favorite discs. I still have it.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound like he was malicious with it. Like maybe he found it. And
he was malicious with it.
Oh, okay.
Because he knew, like, we know each other. He saw my name and my phone number on the back.
So he knew you?
Oh yeah.
That's why he kept it.
No.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
No,
got him.
honestly, okay, thank you. Except for this guy is the type that would do stuff like that. And so I was honestly enraged when I saw it.
Oh,
because
imagine, yeah.
anybody but that guy, if I see it, I'm like, hey, give me that back.
Right.
Yeah, I know you're just joking around. This guy saw my name and phone number. We live in the same city.
Oh, so he knew what he was.
Oh, he
I gotcha.
100% knew what he was doing.
Yeah. I don't have a story like that. I don't. People are usually nice to me. Actually, I don't. I guess I don't play enough to lose a lot of discs. I've had them returned to me, but I've never noticed someone having it.
Yeah,
true. Have I? Nope, no stories. All right, let's move on to Brian.
Thank you, Zach. You're a nice guy.
Hey, Disc Golf Answerman crew. This is Brian Taylor from Fort Wayne, Indiana. And I was out playing a sanctioned round, or a sanctioned league round, I should say, for our normal weekly league. And I had a thought when I was going to get my disc out of the basket. Normally when I walk up and grab my disc, I'll usually have the disc from my previous lie in my hand. So when I go to reach in, usually I'll have that disc in my hand, basically place that disc on top of the disc that's in the basket and grab them both out. Well, I had the thought when I did this the other day, like, could someone call that as essentially a practice putt? Because I am putting that disc in the basket to grab both discs out. I would just want to know what you guys were thinking about it. I don't think it's something that would necessarily be called, but I feel like if you get that one person on your card that's having a bad day or is just that kind of a person, I feel like this is something that could be called. Just love to hear what you guys think. Thanks.
I've actually thought this exact same thing before. I've seen Nico do it. When he does it, though, he will drop his other putter on top of his other one. But I don't think anybody's going to call you on it. I mean, the other loophole on it would be a disc has to travel 6 feet. So if you throw a 6-foot putt in and then throw it another one, then yeah, of course you're going to get stroked. But if you're just casually walking up and grabbing it, I mean, if somebody calls you on it because they're having a bad day, that person needs to just go away.
Yeah, just chill.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
I've heard Big Germ say something about this on commentary, that it bothers him when people do it. Now, I don't think he's going to say he's not going to stroke him or anything like that.
It doesn't bother me, I guess, but it
I just
definitely
don't do it.
Yeah, I don't either. I actually make an effort to reach in and grab it, as if I have a disc in my hand, keep it in my other hand.
Right. For sure. Just to be super safe.
Yes.
Interesting. All right, next one is from Justin.
Hey, Disc Golf Answer Man. This is Justin from Texas. I was just listening to the latest episode, and I was wondering if Dynamic Discs was ever going to come out with a bundle for putters. I would love to buy 6 or 8 or even 10 Prime Wardens all at once at one price versus going out and trying to find them. or order them all online separately. Yeah, that's my only question. Thanks for everything you guys do. Love the podcast.
Have we ever done that? Had bundles?
Yeah, we have for sure.
I know we have like misprint bundles, but have we ever had like putter bundles? I know sometimes we have for school, but I think the smallest one is like 15 or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah. What's coming up right now is we've got prime witnesses on the website that are in bundles of 25.
25 witnesses?
Yeah.
Can I get a witness? Can I get 25?
Well, you can get 25 of them.
But I guess we don't do bundles. I don't know why.
I thought we did educational things.
I think we do. I don't know.
The educational things may not just be listed on the website. We may just process those through wholesale.
Oh, so. Right here. Dynamic Disc Prime Truth Educational Disc Golf Set. It's a 25 pack.
Yeah.
Of Prime Truth.
Okay, yeah.
So it's not putters.
No, but I wonder if we do something for putters. We just don't have it right now. I don't know why. It's something I can bring. I'll bring up to our boy Clay to see what he has to say.
Yeah.
Thank you for the suggestion.
Yeah,
Zach.
Appreciate it.
We'll see what we can
do.
I'm
seeing. Sorry. Thank you for the suggestion. Justin. Only one of them. Next up is Zach. Robert's true fan.
Is it?
That same guy.
All right.
Nice.
What's going on, guys? I got 2 questions here today. My first question is, which of the new molds for 2018 are you guys looking forward to the most, and have you thrown them yet? Also, I have a question for Bobby. Bobby, did you get the name Cool Daddy Slick Breeze from when you used to work at the club? Was that your stripper name?
Yes.
I would like to know what your stripper name was. So thanks.
Yes.
All right. If this is the absolutely first episode you've heard of our show,
yeah,
please go back and listen to the one previous from this, and to get some context on that question.
So Robert, what disc are you looking most forward to 2018?
All right. So let's recap the ones that we do know about. So we've got the Captain. That's going to be a high-speed distance driver, similar to a King, hopefully a little more overstable, I think is what we're aiming for.
Kind of in between a Trespass and a Sheriff, I think I heard.
Yeah, that sounds right. And then we've got the Getaway, and that's supposed to be kind of a more overstable Escape. That's the one I'm most curious about, because I don't know where it's going to fit in stability-wise.
Escape Pro.
Right,
is what you kind of think about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
And then we've got the Maverick, which is supposed to be a slightly understable fairway driver.
Yes.
And then we've got the Patrol. That's going to be a very understable mid-range. And we're going to release the Patrol, I believe, around Junior Worlds time. I'm not positive about that.
I think that's the plan.
I think it's going to be a great disc for younger arms, slower throwers, people who want a super quick right turn.
Not all juniors, obviously.
Not all juniors, yeah, but some of them.
Yeah.
I think the one I'm looking forward to most is the Maverick. I really like throwing hyzer flips that go straight for a little bit and then finish to the right, and I think that's the sort of flight I might be able to get out of the Maverick. I think it's going to fly for me probably similar to an Escape, but just a little bit slower. So I don't know.
The Maverick, okay.
Yeah, I'm interested in it.
For me, probably the Getaway.
Yeah,
I'm thinking the Maverick's great, but I don't necessarily need for my arsenal.
You don't really throw disc like that much.
I don't throw very many understable discs. I mean, I've got beat in Emacs and Trespasses that I can get, and Convicts for that matter, that I can get the hold over.
Sure.
So I don't need one right out of the box, flippy.
Right.
And to answer your other question, none of us have even seen these discs yet.
Yeah, we don't have prototypes.
I don't believe that they're even been made yet. Maybe they're in the process of ordering the molds at this point, but no, we probably won't see them until late fall, early winter.
That's what I was going to say.
I'm guessing is when
late October,
we'll
early
get them
November,
in and we'll get out and throw them a little bit here and there. But as of right now, the Getaway I think is the one that I'm looking forward to. But I got to be honest, right now my bag is
it's pretty good.
I'm pretty excited about it. I'm pretty happy with my setup right now. I don't really feel like I'm missing any. There's no real big holes, in my bag at all at this point. But I'll be interested to see what the Getaway flies like.
For sure.
What were the understable ones, Robert?
The understable is the Maverick is the fairway driver, and then the Patrol is the mid-range. And then the Captain
I think you're going to like the Patrol, Bobby.
I think so, too.
I think it's going to be like For me, when I think about you throwing this disc, for some reason I feel like it's going to be the mid-range version of the Deputy.
That's what I was thinking in my head.
Mm-hmm.
So more understable than the Warrant.
It'll be the
I think
most
so.
understable. I mean, with the exception of maybe not the proof.
Yeah.
How do you think it'll compare to the Tursus? Or how much are we wanting it to compare?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think maybe similar.
Yeah.
Maybe even a little bit less. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. What are we doing? Oh, and then his other question was
Cool Daddy Slick Breeze.
Cool Daddy Slick Breeze. So just a real quick, no, it is not my stripper name.
What was your stripper name?
Actually, I didn't have a stripper name. I just stripped.
All the good ones did. So I just took my clothes off.
And they said, this guy's going to come do stuff up here. So no name. Here you go.
So anyway, so the quick story of how I got my name, it was a name that someone or it was blurted out in high school. We were in the class and someone said something about, "Are you a Cool Daddy Slick Breeze?" And it's stuck in my head ever since.
What are you, some kind of Cool Daddy Slick Breeze?
Breeze?
Do you give that guy royalties?
I've looked for him on Facebook and I've never found him. So I don't even know what he's doing or whatnot. We used to be really good friends and joked around a lot, but
Hopefully he's not a lawyer.
yeah.
Because of all the money that Bobby is making off of Cool Daddy Slick Breeze.
I wonder if he would even remember that was said. So anyway,
He's probably given so many nicknames to people he doesn't
yeah, he's
even
just
know.
a nickname.
You should become friends with him, Robert.
I know. I'm interested. If we do find him, something better than Broken Apple Watch or that other guy.
That other guy.
Whatever.
All right, next one is from Harry.
Hey guys, I have a question about the 30-second rule. So we all know that it's basically the amount of allotted time for each player to take their shot, basically with the speed of play. But especially in pro tournaments and in some tournaments I play as well, I mean, if there's something distracting the player that's supposed to be taking the shot, I mean, you'll give them a little bit more time. Maybe there's a car driving past, and in most cases, the player themselves says something like this. But I'm curious now, here in Finland in the fall now, or the start of fall, basically we have these small little critters that really eat at your ankles and which are really freaking annoying. And I'm sure you have some sort of annoying little things there in America too. But I'm wondering if this is the kind of thing as well that could be, or do you think this is some kind of thing if in a tournament situation these things come up that should be taken into account, that maybe you'll give in certain situations give the player a little bit more time to I don't know, shake them off or start dealing with it. I'm curious to hear what you think, and look forward to your podcast.
Certainly, I would say that no one's going to really hold you against it unless you're abusing it.
Well, distractions kind of...
And that's covered in the rules.
It is. If there's a distraction, your 30 seconds starts over. So if like a car drives by and...
Then you can kind of step away and reset or something like that.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're getting ready to set up and some...
But I feel like bugs biting your ankles, you're going to want to do more movement.
Yeah.
You're going to want to get your shot off and then...
Oh, that's true. But I mean, I'm just thinking...
Walk up button, I get out of here.
But I'm just thinking, I mean, things like that. Yeah. Now, if it's like every it's been 4 holes or whatever, and they seem to be taking longer or they seem to be fabricating things happening, then I suppose you can kind of say, hey, maybe give me
I'm going
a
to try
warning
that
or
next
something.
time.
I'm calling you on it.
Just looking down the line. Excuse me? What was that?
I'm sorry.
Did you say something?
Pardon me, what? Oh, I guess I'll start my time over.
Okay, let me refresh.
So yeah, I think you're good to go.
From your all the really long routine that you do.
My 5 seconds.
A very long 5-second routine. Step up and jam.
Execute.
All right.
You were never when I was filming a lot more of tournaments, you were never one that like I had to hurry up and get ready for.
I was never like, well,
he's not
I
like
would,
a Michael Johansson.
I would
or Cam
also,
Todd.
out of respect to you
and
the person
Yes, I've
filming,
noticed
I
some
let
people do
them
that,
get in position because I don't want them to miss my ace.
Paul,
I mean,
Ulibarri used to be the worst. I mean,
what?
if you were not paying attention, you would
Speedy?
miss. Yes, you would miss his shot.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's another one, Matt Fausch out of Iowa.
Yeah.
I mean, there would be times when I would throw and I would turn around and he's running up the tee pad. I mean, he was quick.
Dude's ready.
You got to watch. You got to be ready.
What if he hit your disc out of the air, though?
Wouldn't that be
crazy?
Super impressive.
It would be. I would love to see it.
All right, next one comes from Boo.
What up, Boo?
I say, but
I knew it was coming.
What's up, gentlemen? First of all, big thank you to Eric for signing one of my custom stamped discs from this latest order. I appreciate him taking the time to do that. I'm going to be holding on to that for a future giveaway, so that should be a lot of fun.
Sweet.
But I appreciate it. Second of all, I'm really liking the Gobi. Anthony sent me one to check out, and I really dig it. It's a great flying disc. Went straight in the bag, and it's been there ever since. And I'm wondering if you guys have any experience with the overmolds, and might we see any DD overmolds come out sometime this year? And finally,
Definitely
a quick
not
one
this
for
year.
Robert. If you could bring back any player to Chelsea Football Club throughout the club's history, who would you restore to the squad? For me, it's a pretty easy one. Hands down, Didier Drogba. Bring him back. We need him. That's my question for you guys today. Thanks for everything you do. I'll check you later. Cheers.
Nice.
All right, so what Boo is referring to is Latitude 64 came out with 3 molds that were the overmold, where they take the, what is it? What's in the middle?
Optos in the middle. And then gold line on the outside. Yeah.
So you have 2 different type plastics, and it's believed that this adds some characteristics to the flight. They have a fairway driver, which is the Bryce, the Gobi, which is a mid-range, and then the Sarek, which is a
fabulous flying putter.
Yes.
Yeah.
So first, his question was: have you guys had experience with the overmold discs?
We've thrown all of them.
Yeah, I've thrown the Sarek a lot more than I've thrown the other 2.
Well, and we had those at the Nissan Stadium event,
which
so we
is
threw them a
why
lot there. Yeah,
I've thrown it a lot more. And I really like the way the putter flies. I love it. Yeah, I'm all about it.
It's in your bag right now.
It's not.
Oh, not right now.
It was.
Oh, okay.
It came out for the skins match when I did the skins.
Rip. Yep. Yeah, I've thrown all 3. The Bryce is a little understable for what I'm looking for. In the fairway driver slot,
and I think it'd be hard to make it overstable. Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen other MVP or whoever have overstable discs. So I don't know. I'm sure that will sometime be something that we consider, right?
Well, I'm sure.
Maybe. Who knows?
I would assume so. I mean, at some point we're going to run out of our own molds,
right?
So we kind of want to maybe look at, well, maybe we want an overmold putter or mid.
Sure.
So
sure. I think the Gobi is actually pretty underrated. It's really, really straight, easy to turn a little bit if you want to. I've seen. I heard Cam Colglazier was throwing his.
Yes, I've heard
all
that
over
as
the
well.
place. So yeah, I think the overmolds that have been produced are really good. As far as DD overmolds this year, that's a no, because we don't have anything else like that in production for this year.
We don't have anything in production for this year.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, we don't have any new molds at all. For next year, we've talked about the molds that we are planning on coming out with. I don't know if we'll add
that could change. You never know.
Don't know if we'll add any overmolds to that or not. But yeah, I think they're good discs. For me, for Chelsea, Frank Lampard's my favorite player from Chelsea. I'd like to see him back there. I agree with you about Drogba. He's just a really good finisher and an aggressive player. I really liked that, but I liked that Lampard is just a field general. Like, he gets going and he controls the speed of play, and he just leads the team. So I would take back Lampard. That's it.
I've thrown all 3. I would say I've thrown the Sarek more. The same situation because of that, the Nissan Stadium disc golf experience. I really like the Sarek. It's so super straight for me. Even I can get on it really. I can just really crank it and it goes nice and straight. Even turns maybe just a slight depending on the wind.
Yeah.
It's one that I keep forgetting to, because I don't know what I did with my disc golf experience one.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really officially. Oh, there it is. I didn't officially get one. I'd like to put one in my bag.
Sure.
I think it's really cool. Yeah, I think I'm going to put a Sarek.
I've got one in my office. You can have.
Boom.
Robert, the gracious McCall.
That's right. The gracious.
The gracious.
That's right. It's like in old times people were called like the venerable, the honorable. No, the gracious. That's
the gracious.
Me. That's me.
All right. Next one comes from Jeff H. Not to be confused with Jeff L. Jeff H.
Hey, friendos, Jeff here. Just had a quick question about drivers. I've noticed that.
Did he say friendos?
Friendos. That's a new one for me.
Nice.
Like
I dig it.
A Mando friend? Friendo?
Fair.
that my Fusion Trespasses are getting a little too flippy on me, but I'm still having trouble with the Enforcers. They're wanting to hyzer out on me almost immediately. So my question is, what would be like a good in-between for the two? I've heard that like the Villain from Latitude is pretty good, but I just kind of want your
OOP.
opinion on that. Also, I would love to see more discs come out in the fluid plastic. Thanks.
Right?
I don't
What?
know.
I thought it was. Maybe it's not.
Eric said he might think that the villain,
Villain?
is
Mhm.
out of production. I don't know. We still.
I know the Trident. I can't remember if the Villain
Maybe
was
not.
one of those.
Maybe. I know that they did that, and the Pain was another one that was OP. I don't know. Maybe it isn't. It's
Yeah.
just, I never hear anything about the Villain anymore.
Mhm. I think that would be a good middle one, but
It may be, but I feel you. Like the Fusion Trespasses are definitely a little bit more, have tendencies to flip a little bit harder. And I actually had a brand new Fusion one in the bag that I ended up giving Robert,
yeah,
and it flies wonderful for him. I would suggest one of two things. I would suggest a Lucid Trespass. A heavy Lucid Trespass seems to be perfect for me. The hyzer flips. It does turn to the right, but it gets maximum distance and typically will always finish. The other one I would probably suggest would be either the Bio Enforcer or Bio Defender. One of those two, whichever one you want to get, whichever one feels better in the hand that you can beat in to that level.
yeah. I was going to recommend the Lucid Trespass as well. They are, if you haven't thrown the Lucid ones in a while, they're more overstable than you probably remember.
Yeah, they are.
I think,
And not like overstable,
but just like resistant to turn. I
Yes.
mean, you can get on them.
you can get on it.
I mean, it'll stand up, sure, but they
That's
have
great.
some finish, and they're not going to just turn and burn.
And get the domey guys, the ones
Yes.
that have a little more dome to them.
Those are the winners.
Winner.
So I looked on Latitude 64 site, and Eric, you are correct. In 2016, the Villain was taken out of production. That's what he meant when he said OOP. Now you guys might be thinking,
You down well,
why
OOP?
would you OOP a disc? Well, we
Because
obviously
they sit on the shelf and collect dust.
pretty much. I mean, we are limited about how many new molds and how many discs, and all you guys that want these discs in new plastics and stuff like that. There's a limit because we can only do so many because there's only so many machines and stuff like that. So we have to assess sales numbers and things like that and figure out how do we take something out of production to make room for new stuff. And the Villain is one of those discs.
And the Fugitive.
In the Fugitive.
Rest in peace.
Next one is from Ryan.
What's going on, Cool Daddy E Mac and the Dancing King McCall? This is Ryan from Hazel.
I thought I was the Dancing King.
Yeah, no, that's the
Sarcasm.
Yeah.
Remember, he's scared to death of dancing.
Oh, that's right. As he shrivels up.
Yeah, I kind of shrunk back in my chair when you said that. Even just, but I don't want to be that. Can I be the king of something else?
Actually, I got two. First one, I am finding it hard, to find the right amount of power for my understable discs. Especially as it become more and more beat in, I find that my trespass turns more and more right. Obviously, the more and more it's beat in. How do you work your finesse? How do you work on your touch when you're trying to get that correct S line through the woods? Second question.
We'll go with the first one.
When you're working with wood stuff like that, power is important, but I'd say your angle is equally important.
Yes, angle. It is all about angle.
Yeah.
Especially in the woods.
Yeah. So like when you're throwing your trespasses, the ones that move a little to the right for you and come back, I mean, you're not hitting those at 100%.
No.
Most everything you throw is between, I mean, anywhere from probably 70 to 90.
Yep.
Most of the time you're at about an 80% throw. And I think if you're working on gaining consistency in the flight, then work on that consistent speed, that 80%. Make sure that you know how to release everything at 80%. And then ensure that your angle is the same from reach back to hit point, which is your release, and then to follow through. That's going to create the most consistent flight that it can for you. So you won't have a lot of wobble on the front end. The disc won't turn over too early because you've put it on the angle it's supposed to. Then it can do the work on its own instead of being forced over.
Exactly.
Very good. Second part of the question.
What makes you guys happy? Day-to-day basis, what keeps you guys going, and brightens up your day? Thank you all for what you do. Keep doing it. Keep it real. Thanks, guys.
Good question.
That is a good question.
You just made me break down and cry.
I was
over
going to
here.
say, well, for me, dancing.
Obvi.
I turn on some music in my office, close the door, and tell myself I'm beautiful. And then I dance a lot.
You're
You
good
can't-
enough.
Do you dance
You're
with
smart
your-
enough.
Yeah. Darn it.
Do you dance with Walter
People
when he's
like
in
you.
there too?
Of course.
Walter being your dog.
Yeah. Not some other bro up here
Right.
named Walter. Say, Walter, come and
Hey,
dance with me,
Walter.
buddy.
So, what makes you happy, Eric McCabe?
Man,
Just getting wow.
Getting deep.
getting deep in here. I guess one thing that comes to mind is this past weekend, being in Kansas City for the Luck of the Draw skins match, and just seeing the kids' faces light up.
Yep.
When they were throwing and the crowd reacting to
It
a
was
lot of those
super
kids
cool.
just mashing and jamming putts and seeing just somebody coming to me and asking, hey, can I get your signature? Can I get a picture with you? I mean, stuff like that to me to this day still is like, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm more than happy to do that for anybody. And just the thought of me doing that makes somebody else's day absolutely puts me in a great mood.
Yeah. No doubt about that. So was his, just for clarification, not that I think that was a bad answer. I think that was a fantastic answer. And that's
You're wrong, Eric. That is
No.
not what makes you happy.
That is not what makes me happy.
I just wanted
Okay.
to clarify. Does he mean like in disc golf or in life or just yes?
He
I
just
don't think
said,
so. He just said, what makes you happy?
What makes you happy? Okay. So I was going to say a non-disc golf thing then. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't supposed to only say disc golf things.
I suppose you could do that.
Okay. Well, obviously the disc golf stuff.
I'll say a non-disc golf thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
No,
we go.
after you,
Okay.
please.
So the disc golf thing for me is the same thing as Eric getting to watch.
Watching little kids come up to me.
Yeah. And, when they ask Eric,
So awesome.
when they ask
Love
Eric
you,
for his
Eric.
autograph, and I'm like, man, that's just so cool. Someday, fingers crossed. No. Just getting to see people get involved, and like you said, in the Emporia Luck of the Draw skins that we did, we did a crowd choice. I chose the younger guy who was caddying for Ricky Wysocki to be his partner for the hole, and it was like you told him he just won $1 million. I mean, his face just lit up, and just getting to facilitate things like that for people,
Yeah.
and getting that experience for them and getting to take part in it is really, really super cool. That's one of the things that I've loved about working at Dynamic Discs, and that makes working here make me happy, truly. For non-disc golf things, this is a cheesy answer. My wife will never listen to this, so you know that I'm not just sucking up to her, but being around my wife, she's fantastic, super funny, easygoing. We get along with each other really well. We laugh all the time together. So she's awesome. And then the other thing for me is music. I love music.
Just putting on a good song and dancing. Oh, wait.
Yeah. It's mostly the dancing part. No, for me, playing music, listening to music, going to a concert, even though, like, as we've noted, I'm not a dancer, I just sit and take it in, and it's awesome.
You at least sing along?
It depends on if I know the song or not.
Oh, okay. So if you know the song for sure.
It depends on if I'm in the singing mood or not. Here's the thing. It
remind me to never take you on a date.
Oh, for sure. I'd have to check with my wife first, but I might be interested. A lot of people, if I go to concerts with them, they'll be like, did you even enjoy that? And my version of enjoying that is just listen, like taking it all in. Right. I'm not doing a lot of extra stuff because I want to see and hear and catch everything. So that's what makes me happy.
I'm like that with movies. I want everything.
Yeah.
See, I'm like the opposite with movies. I don't care about movies.
Really?
I bet you talk at movies.
I don't care about
No, I don't
you.
talk at movies.
Okay.
Oh.
What?
Fair. Totally fair.
No,
I
I love movies.
Yeah,
It's
I just
my-
never really got
It's my jam.
never really got into movies.
I
But
love
I
movies,
understand
honestly.
it. Like it's really super cool when they're done well.
It's really hard for me to pick something in life that makes me happy that's not related to disc golf because of how much
You're entrenched
my
in
life
disc golf.
is
Yeah.
disc golf.
Your life
That's
is
the word I was thinking
But
too, entrenched.
Disc golf is life.
But I would say out of anything, everything would be family.
Same.
That's an easy answer. It's probably the cliche answer, but family. FOE, they say. FOE.
Family over everything.
Family over everything.
That's also a word though.
Some things that make me happy is
I just say it
Sup,
sometimes.
fo?
Sorry, Bobby, go ahead.
when we visit Bartlesville And my two grandkids come running out
Yeah.
the house, and they're Papa, and they give me big old hugs and stuff. And
They don't say "Cool Daddy Slick Breeze."
Yeah,
to
they
you?
don't say yeah.
That's so weird.
And then you
Cool
just look
Daddy
at him
Papa
and,
Breeze.
and you
Cool
just
Papa Breeze.
you look at him and go, "Fo,
Fo.
Say fo.
say fo."
So that always brings me joy. Listening to them laugh. I saw a video the other day. You know how Facebook does the little this
Reminders,
happened. Yeah, remember this year's, and it was of both them laughing at something. It was just I watched it like 20 times. It was just so funny. Of course, don't tell Jeremy that because I was at work. But and then but one thing that recently that's kind of disc golf related that kind of puts everything in a nice little bow is my dad always asked me, so a lot of people know you in disc golf. I'm like, yeah, I mean, not everybody in disc golf, but I'm fairly well known in the disc golf world. And something I've always wanted to be when I grew up was an actor. I wanted to do something in Hollywood and stuff like that, but never, figure I had the chance, and whatever. And so I always
Never
loved.
too late to follow your dreams.
This is true. But I always liked that social media allowed you to do that. There's no more. If you want to make a record, a music record, you don't have to wait for some big company to come along and sign you. You can put stuff out there yourself.
You make your own movies.
Yeah, same thing with YouTube now. You can become internet famous or Instagram famous. You don't have to wait for it to be in a Steven Spielberg movie. Anyway, so I always thought it was cool that I was able to build myself up in disc golf with dynamic discs and everything like that. So anyway, my dad was telling me a story that he was at the park at Sooner Park with his grandchild, and they were playing in the park, and he noticed some guys playing disc golf at Sooner Park, and he went up to them, and they were walking nearby, and they said, "So you guys play a lot of disc golf?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, every time we get a chance, we play disc golf." He goes, "Have you guys ever heard of a Cool Daddy Slick Breeze?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, we watch his stuff all the time." And he was like, "Oh well, that's my son." And they walked up to him, and they're like, "We got to shake the hand of the dad of Cool Daddy. You don't understand how much we enjoy watching his videos. He helps me pick out what discs to buy, and he showed him a dynamic disc bag. I bought a bag because of watching his stuff."
Awesome.
And then to see my dad's face when he was telling
Proud
me this,
dad moment.
he was proud of me,
Right.
and that made me feel really good. So that's
Yeah,
a more
that's awesome.
recent happy
That's
moment.
great.
That
Nice.
was really cool. Yeah.
Thanks for the question.
Yeah. Thank you for that. All right. Next one comes from Donnie.
What makes you mad?
Yeah, that's good. Donnie's like, "What's the worst thing that's ever happened to you?"
That's ever happened to
No,
you.
just kidding, Donnie. Hold on.
Hey, Disc Golf Answer Man.
Whoa,
This
turn
is
your
Donnie
volume down.
from Northeast Missouri. Just have a question, probably directed at Eric as a spin putter. I'm also a spin putter. Recently picked up a marksman basket
Nice.
and discovered that my normal putting routine, my normal putting flow or whatever, kicks out of the marksman like 95% of the time. But if I let off just a little bit, it'll stick. And wondering what Eric thinks, if I should adjust my normal putting and let off a little bit, or keep working on my regular putting form with the marksman until it starts to stick. Thanks, guys.
What do you
Good
think,
question.
Eric?
Yeah.
I've had similar experiences. We actually have a marksman basket up at Jones, and occasionally I'll go over and practice on it. But no, you shouldn't change your putt speed just because your practice basket doesn't catch. The only basket that really matters that catches is the ones that you're playing on the course. No, you absolutely shouldn't change anything about it. If you feel comfortable jamming it, honestly, on a practice basket, it doesn't matter if they all hit dead center and pop back out because of how hard you're putting. If those putts are sticking on the veterans and the chain star, well, I won't say chain stars, but disc catchers or mock X's, if they're catching on all those baskets, then why does it matter?
Yeah.
No, I would not. I've said this from the beginning. You got to practice like you play and play like you practice.
Yeah, I like the marksman because it narrows the target so that you can work on your accuracy some, but you need to take the results with a grain of salt.
Yes.
If you're hitting the pole, if you're hitting just right side, just left side of the pole, you need to know most of the time those are going to stick.
Those are sticky,
and that's
in
fine.
Normal baskets.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
As long as you're not as long as the reason that they're not coming back is you're throwing it as hard as you can, and it's hitting the pole, I wouldn't change one single thing.
Exactly.
All right, next one comes from Mikey.
What is up, Disc Golf Answer Man crew? Cool Daddy Slick Breeze, Eric 2010 McCabe, and Robert the DDMC McCall.
I like
Hope you guys
that
are doing
one.
well. My name is Mikey down here in South Florida. I have 2 questions for you. My first question is about plastic types for dynamic discs. I currently throw the Trespass and the EMAC Truth a lot. I love them both.
Me too.
Trying to fill some different slots in my bag, but I'm running into a couple issues. I really want to cover everything, overstable, understable, dead straight, you name it, I want it. But I really like the feel of the Trespass and the EMAC Truth. So my question is, do I buy all Lucid Trespasses and just break them in at different times and cycle through them that way? Or do I get like one Moonshine, one Lucid, one Air to fill that gap? Same with the EMAC Truth. How should I go about doing that? Do I buy all the same? Do I get them different? Or do I just get completely different discs? That's another option too. Just want to pick your brain on that a little bit. Second question has to do with Ricky and all of the spit outs at
Go for it.
First off, yeah, absolutely. That's very similar to what I do in my bag. I would recommend, on the Trespass side of things, keeping the Lucids to be your more stable finishers, distance driver, whatever. And then maybe pick up a Fusion for your more understable version of that, because they do tend to be a little bit more understable than the Lucid one, at least in the Trespass.
Maybe even a Bio too.
Maybe even a Bio, yeah, absolutely. And then same exact pattern on the EMAC Truths as well. The Lucid or Moonshine tends to be the most overstable, and then a Fusion or even a Bio Fusion will kind of hold that Anheuser line. You can buy a bunch of them if you want and just cycle them in and out, which is kind of what I do.
Yeah.
Which I really recommend on the EMAC Truths is you just go ahead and buy a bunch of
ahead and
Lucids, Fusions, Moonshines, Bio, whatever, all of them. So whatever you feel more comfortable doing, really.
25 pack. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't have much to add to that. That's definitely a good strategy to do, and I don't know if you like the feel of those and they can accomplish the shots that you need. Use those. Keep it simple.
Yep.
All right, next one comes from wait. Sorry, he had a second part to the question.
Okay.
My bad. Hold on.
My bad.
Gonna rewind a little bit. So I apologize if we heard some of it, but I want to capture all of his second question.
All of it.
Your brain on that a little bit. Second question has to do with Ricky and all the spit outs at Ledgestone. I know we're all thinking about it and talking about it. Is there anything we can do on the basket design side of things that would alleviate this? It seemed like he had perfect putts, but they fell out. So what can we do about it? You guys are awesome. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Well, Reputation would have it would be to not use those particular baskets. Yeah. Say what you will, but this isn't just coming from us because we make baskets, but I've seen it time and time again. Unsolicited opinions on that style basket from all different players from different manufacturers. So it's not like one biased opinion. Say that particular basket just doesn't catch very well.
And I'd like to add, I don't know that this is necessarily true, but I'd heard a rumor that they moved manufacturing on the Chain Stars from like California, wherever they used to be, to China.
I was going to say something about that because they seem different.
And I think the chains maybe are not quite as heavy.
Okay.
And I think that has a lot to do with it. The pop outs. Because I remember what course did we have? We had Chain Stars out at Pan when it first went in. The Optimus Club paid for half the baskets, and we got Chain Stars, and they were fine. We didn't have any like, I mean, sure, every now and then, but every basket's going to do that every now and then. So I think that's kind of part of the reason why you're seeing a lot more spit outs.
So, I mean, what can be done? I mean, I'm not trying to pick on that particular basket, but I do know that the Disc Golf Pro Tour, this could be a whole nother podcast in itself, but the Disc Golf Pro Tour did a survey of what baskets would the players of the Disc Golf Pro Tour like to see, and that particular basket was not included So some people are trying to say, well, why did you have us vote on these baskets if they're not being used? As you could very well guess, I'm sure finances has something to do with it. So hopefully,
yeah,
as the
and I
years,
get that,
yeah,
but I don't understand what's the point in having
a standard,
if you're not going to follow it.
right? And that's the argument: is why have a standard if you're not even going to follow it?
And I get it because Ledgestone is a discraft event,
Sure.
So they're obviously not going to want
Non-discraft,
Innova baskets
right.
or anything else there.
So
I
makes
get
sense.
it.
So yeah,
I get it.
so I mean, there's nothing to say about that. So
Is there anything you can do to a basket to make no spit outs? I think was the second part of his question.
I'm not sure if no spit outs is a thing. Like
yeah, I mean even think about
mock X's
Yeah,
are
that's
like
what I was
the
gonna say.
most dense in the middle that you can be. And
but
even
push putters have tendencies to pop out.
because it's a lot heavier in the center.
Mhm.
And so yeah, I don't know, because of the nature of how discs hit the basket and the engineering of them. I don't know if there's a perfect basket that can be made. It's not like a golf hole where it's just a hole, that it has a lot more moving parts than that.
next one is that's right. Mikey's back at it. Here, let's see what Mikey says.
Mikey.
Disc Golf Answer Man, what is up? It's Mikey again from South Florida. I have one more question, and it is for Mr. Robert McCall. So I work at a church. I work with middle school students, and I also lead worship. And a problem I've run into is I can't play in tournaments because most of them run on Sundays. This is an issue because obviously I work on Sundays, and I only get 3 Sundays off a year, and those are usually spent on holidays with families, anniversaries, stuff like that. So what is the solution to this? How do I play in tournaments? Love playing disc golf. Can't play in them if they're on Sundays. So what do I do? What did you do? Love to know your thoughts. You guys are awesome. Keep it up. Thanks.
Cool. Thanks for the shout, Mikey. I did a lot of the same things that you did at the church. I did middle school youth ministry to start off with, and then moved over to being the campus minister of our South campus and leading worship at our campuses as well. And so we are a lot in the same boat. And I did a lot of my tournament playing while I was at the church. And what it came down to for me is just knowing that I'm mostly just going to get to play one-day tournaments. A lot of times that meant C tiers or the occasional B tier. I had one Sunday off a year outside of holidays. Holidays were kind of given that some of us were going to be out of town, and that's okay. So I would usually allot that Sunday to go to a tournament or something. So I'd make like Piney Woods and Tyler was one of my favorite A tiers to go to. Or one time there was the Texas State Disc Golf Championships were in Austin, and so I took my Sunday off to play that. I would say for somebody who has a schedule like that you can, at least for the time being, you can just kind of toss bigger tournaments out the window, and that's honestly okay. Like the time that I got up to being 1,000 rated, I was working at the church, and those were the tournaments I was playing to get to that spot. So yeah, that's just kind of the nature of working in a church. Now, I really enjoyed it because I got to see a lot of people that normally I wouldn't see at church when I went out on Saturdays, and I enjoyed that a lot. So I don't know. It's just something that you got to work with.
Yeah.
Next one comes from Felix.
The Castro?
What's going on, Bobby,
The
Eric,
cat.
and Robert? This is Felix checking in again. Just with kind of a question / comment. I've been playing the game now about 6 months. For the first 4 months, it seems like everything was just constant gains, getting better. And then I kind of hit a plateau. So reached out for different opinions, started taking any and every piece of advice that I can get and implementing any and every single piece of advice that I got. And it got to the point where I kind of lost my original form, lost the gains that I was making. Now I've kind of taken a step backwards, started doing standstills again, getting back to the basics. I think it's really helping out my form. So my question is, has that ever happened to you guys when you were starting out, where you kind of seek advice from different places, try to implement it all at once? And is it a good thing? I can understand learning from people that are better than you. But when it starts to get you lost in what you were doing originally, is it a good thing? Can it be a good thing in the long run? Because I've had to start over from scratch, kind of learning those things along the way that I picked up and adding to what I originally had. But for a couple of months there, I kind of got lost in the shuffle and I regressed. So I'm trying to teach some of my new buddies and get them into the sport. And I don't want them to make the same mistakes. Just looking for your thoughts on that. Thanks, guys.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah.
I'll say.
Go ahead.
I was going to say when I first started, I didn't have internet that I could just go out and get all this different, media that I can like. Oh, look, maybe I'll watch this guy's videos or this guy. I didn't have that. I had VHS tapes. I literally had VHS tapes of disc golf that I would watch.
I dig it.
And I would have to go to events. I would have to travel to events to watch. I used to go to the Kansas City Wide Open every year and watch Scott Stokely when he came to town. Climo would come to town. LaRon Harris, Crazy John, all those players would come and I would watch them play the finals. And that's where I got my knowledge. That's how I found the game, so to speak. I didn't have the luxury of getting on Google and
just and
just looking.
That's how you throw that.
Do I think it's good? Sure, I think it's great to have options out there to see which one works best for you. Absolutely, I think it's awesome to have the different styles that you can go through to figure out what best sets your game set on the course. Keeping in mind, you don't want to play out of your comfort zone.
Right.
So, for instance, for some reason, hole number 5, Jones East, always comes to mind when I think about this kind of a question.
Right.
When we step up to hole 5, it's okay. How far is hole 5? Would you say 430, 440, 477?
Yeah.
Okay, is what.
Yeah,
what
that's
Anthony
what the
says.
T sign reads.
Okay,
I think it plays a little shorter than that, but
I agree.
Yeah,
I'd agree with that,
but not much. I mean,
not much.
It's a pull,
but it's got OB pretty much the entire length. There is one little section of it that's layup area, but if you're not familiar with it, you can go on YouTube now and watch it. But when I step up to this hole, and Robert and I are playing a dollar match or a tags match or whatever, no matter what the score is,
that's right. Every single time, the most different discs in our hand.
Yes, he's typically throwing a Warden.
Yep,
and I'm typically throwing a Trespass.
Right.
I'm going for the green. He's laying up,
and
that's a perfect example of don't play to your competition. Play in your own mindset.
Right.
Play to your skill level.
Right. And if you're playing with people who are better than you, like I've learned things from Eric because we've played together and because I've asked him about it, but that doesn't mean that I change how I play necessarily, right?
Yeah.
I pick up on little form things, or I pick up on mental strategies.
Yeah.
But it's never like, all right, Eric and I are going out to the course. I'm throwing the same shots as him.
Yeah.
I think it's really important, and you alluded to this, Felix, that when you finally kind of shed some of the advice and just got back to basics, that's when you started to improve again.
Yep.
I think it's really important to take instruction with a grain of salt. Make sure that it works for you before following through with it. I would not accept instruction at face value by somebody who you aren't positive that they do this well. If they get good results, if they are playing well at tournaments, yeah, I'll listen to that person. If they're not, I still want to hear what they have to say. It just may not be the right thing for me. So that's what I'd recommend for you.
Yeah.
All righty. Last question for this episode comes from Joey.
Guys, it's Joey up in Ohio again. I got a question, but first of all, I want to just say that I think I may have switched my allegiance. I was kind of hoping that Robert McCall would win the bet with Bobby, but part of me wants Bobby to have a Dimax disc put in to Robert's bag of Bobby from the review night. So if that's possible, I think Robert should have to carry that if there's an image from that night.
Yes.
Anyways, got a nice question here. Our league is coming to a close, and up in Northwest Ohio, it just gets terribly windy after October. So we've never done a indoor putting league. There's a few of us that want to do it, but we have no idea even what to do. So if you guys could help us out, and how would you run the format? How do you guys do it? Paying in and all that. Like, we just need some help. All right, guys. Thanks.
Marksman Putting League.
Yep.
Sounds like what you need to do.
Talk a little bit about that for if he's not familiar with it.
Last year, I think, was the first year we did it.
That's right.
And how it worked was it was a worldwide thing, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And we sold packages. I believe you came with a marksman. You got a marksman basket. You got a handful of trophy discs.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were wardens.
Yep.
Last year, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
But how it works is, how we did it in Emporia was a flex start, and it ran over, I don't know, I think it was a 6 or 7 week period, and maybe even longer. I think we did a little bit longer than usual. But how it works is every week you come in, the first station's worth a point, second one's worth 2, third one's worth 3, fourth one's 4, and so on. And there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stations, 5 stations. One of them we used a marksman basket. And actually, it's kind of funny. We just talked about this morning in our meeting about the Marksman League and who's going to take that over, and we want to change anything or not. Which we may change one thing. We may add an extra marksman to it. But anyway, how it works is you come in, you play, you get your points, and you come in the next week, you get your points, your average, and then I think you lose your 1 point, and whoever wins the overall gets to win the basket.
Yeah,
that's how we did it in Emporia. I think other cities may have done it a little bit different here and there. It's kind of like a trilogy challenge. You kind of adapt your own rules to it if you want. I think that's a great way to do it. There will be obviously some more information coming out for the Marksman League, the Winter Marksman League. But other than that, I mean, there's really no wrong way to do it. You just got to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think there's two kind of styles that either one could be good. One is the Winter Marksman League, where you are competing with everybody else, but you're putting at the same time. Eric takes 5 putters and then putts station 1. And then if I'm playing with him, I take my 5 putt station 1, Bobby putt station 1, Anthony putt station 1. But then there's also places that do head-to-head competition. So they kind of, draw a bracket.
Kind of like horseshoes.
Yeah, they draw a bracket at the beginning of the night, and then you face off with that person. If you win, or you and your partner win, you move on to the next round. I like stuff like that too, just because it's a different element of competition.
Yep.
It's like you said, I don't really think there's a wrong way to do it, as long as you are getting the good practice putts in, as long as there's a good environment surrounding it, as long as it's fun. Don't think there's really a bad way to do it.
Correct.
That it?
I mean, I have a quick tip again if we don't want to forget about that this week.
I didn't forget. Why would I forget?
I don't know. Maybe because we got to the end and you're like, oh, last question for this episode.
Well, that's the last question, but now we're on to the tip.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
What you got for a tip for us, Robert McCall?
This week's quick tip. Bum, 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 theme music.
Right.
So one of the things that I've started noticing about my putt that I've been working on and that I think is helping out a lot is when I'm missing putts low, I'll try and pay attention to what I did wrong. And I see a lot of people do this wrong. We did at Luck of the Draw Skins on both Tuesday and Saturday. I saw a lot of people who miss low doing the same thing. So in your putt, there's a weight transfer, right? Back to front, from your back leg to your front leg, you're kind of balancing on that front leg. And a lot of times people will either shift their weight too early or not allow their weight to go back far enough so that their weight is already on their front leg. And a lot of times that forces people to putt low because you don't really have anywhere for your body to go. It's already leaning forward. And so when I'm finding myself missing low, I will concentrate on my weight shift. But the thing that I think about doing more than anything else is just lifting my chin up a little bit. I'll notice a lot of times if I miss short that I'm looking low, that my head was kind of pointed down. And that's easy for me to do because in my putting routine, I look at my mini for a little bit before, and then I look up. And I think a lot of people do the same sort of thing. So I would recommend, if you are having difficulty missing putt short, try lifting your chin up a little bit and see if that doesn't help you to get the putter up in the air just a little bit more. Quick
Very
tip.
good. Very good
Good
stuff.
one.
Good one.
What else we got going on for the wrap up of the show? Let's see. Luck of the Draw was awesome out at Kansas City
Super fun.
last Saturday. Really good stuff. Really nice to get this kind of things ironed out so that Ricky Wysocki and Paige Pierce can turn this into a regular thing. So make sure you follow us on our social media so you can find out when all that gets really ironed out as far as where and when they'll be at different places and stuff like that. So,
Right. Next one coming up, September 5th.
September 5th at the Hollows.
Yes. So should be really exciting out there. Be cool for me to go back. When did you? Oh, you've never been, have you, Eric? Have you ever been to not the Hollows? I'm sorry.
I was
only when I designed it.
I've never not been.
I'm thinking of the entire trip. We're gonna go to Vibram, which I've never been to.
Oh, Maine.
I've actually been to all of those places.
Really?
But you've never been to Pleasant Hills Disc Golf Club.
No.
That's the part I was thinking of.
I've never been to any of those places, so I am ecstatic.
Yeah,
I'm super excited.
Because I'm excited about going to Vibram Open, or is it Maple Hill Vibram? What they name
It's
it?
Vibram
Same
Open
thing.
this year.
Okay, so
But at
I'm excited
Maple
about
Hill,
going
yeah.
to there because everybody always talks about being really good. I'm excited about going back to the Hollows and seeing everybody there and seeing the skins. Wait, nothing will have happened with the new course yet. Will it?
They've got
you can
6 holes in or something like that, I think, or 6 ground sleeves in the ground. The baskets aren't there yet.
So we can still
but-
kind of talk about it while we're there, I guess.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going up there and definitely checking out progress and doing
Right.
all that with it. So
And then after that, we're going to Pleasant Hills Disc Golf Club, the Sandbaggers
Ball.
And so that'll be another event where we'll have Ricky and Paige doing a clinic. So it'll be good times.
We'll have a lot
up
of
in
Team
that
DD
area.
people there.
We'll have a lot of stuff going on there.
Yep. We're taking our disc. Are you taking your discs with you?
Did you say TBD? TBD?
Team DD people?
Oh, it's a TBD. I was like, to be.
We'll have a lot of
determined?
to be determined people there.
it's true.
We'll find out
I need
soon.
to take my discs.
I'm
I
taking.
We'll
I
see if
have.
they're still on the team.
That's right. Yeah, we'll find out soon if it is to be determined.
Right.
I've got a brand new charcoal Ranger that I was hooked up with,
Mhm.
and I am taking that and my discs, and I don't care. I'm playing Maple Hill, and I'm playing Maine, and I'm playing the Hollows. Don't care.
How are you going to
Hey,
play
ask me
Maple
if I
Hill?
care. I don't care.
But do you care?
No, I don't care. Thank you for asking. I was actually talking to Paige and Zach some about this, and they said that's the sort of course that they like so much they'll play after their round is over sometimes.
Oh,
They'll
wow.
say that.
Yeah.
They'll
yeah.
change their mind.
Yeah, they will. But
It's a brutal course.
oh, for sure. But
But
maybe
no,
we
I
play
mean,
like 4 holes one day
Yeah.
and 6 holes
Yeah,
another
no,
day. or
You'll
something.
definitely get. I mean, I'll walk it again for sure.
Cool.
So if you want
You
to
can
find out
caddy,
if
thank
you're
you.
in
Yeah.
if you're in the New Hampshire area, definitely look at Dynamic Discs event page,
Mhm.
and you'll see a listing for September 5th, the Hollows, the Luck of the Draw Hollows. So you can get more information on that, and if you wanted to attend that. The other thing you got, Eric, you're going out to Neo Show, Rapids, Kansas.
That is correct.
What's going on there?
Going out to Neosho Rapids.
That's the most hesitant pronunciation
I'm like
of
tired
any
all of a
word.
sudden. I did not sleep well last night.
Are you sure you didn't take Dayquil or NyQuil instead of
Yeah,
Dayquil?
it feels like it. I did not sleep very well because of my cold, so I apologize.
Mer.
So anyway, you're going to
We're going to Neosho Rapids.
Rapids,
Going to Neosho
Rapids.
tomorrow. Or Thursday rather, to design a 9-holer. Just a very beginner friendly. It's about 20 minutes from Emporia, so it'll be relatively close to the one that we can just kind of go and have a fun round on.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Also doing a trilogy challenge this weekend at ribbon cutting
That's right.
in El Dorado.
You going to be there, Bobby?
I don't know.
I don't know if he was going to that, but also at Cottonwood Falls
Right.
at 10 a.m.
Trying to figure out where.
Well, I mean, you could honestly do both because at 10 a.m. is the ribbon cutting at Cottonwood. You can go there and snap pictures and do all that for the junior course.
Right.
And then 11 a.m. in El Dorado.
How far of a drive is it?
It's about an hour.
But it's
from
a,
there,
but it's a
from-
flex.
It's a flex.
Oh, so I don't have to
flex
show
start.
up right at the
Yeah.
start. Oh, I got you. Okay.
But if you
So
want
I
to
wanna-
get there for the actual cutting of the ribbon.
Oh, then I need that. All right, we'll see what happens, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Disc Golf Answer Man. Send in your questions, discgolfanswerman.com. If you follow us on Anchor, I've been slacking on Anchor. I apologize. There's so much going. I'm going to try to get back on Anchor because a lot of people are still just listening to the stuff that we've leftover episodes. Stuff
Cool.
like that. So I've got a few questions that we'll get on there so we can get back on track with the Anchor.
With the Anchor.
Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next week. Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you do me a huge favor, head out to iTunes or even on Stitcher and go rate and review our show. It would really help us out. Thank you so much.